Scene: a dark, wooded road at dusk. Narrator bold and confident. Asterisk, have you ever felt the chill of the unknown? A simple walk in the woods can lead to something profoundly unsettling, especially when it involves an abandoned child. This is exactly what happened to a group of hikers who stumbled upon an eerie scene that would change their lives forever. What they discovered seemed unimaginable. A crying boy left alone beside a desolate road, and what came next shocked everyone to their core. Narrator, picture this. 5 friends, armed with nature's thrill and camaraderie, find themselves trekking down a winding trail deep in the forest. Laughter echoes through the trees as they reminisce about old adventures. Suddenly, their joy is pierced by a haunting sound, a child's cries. Curiosity piqued, they follow the sound, led by an instinct that is both primal and mesmerizing. Narrator, asterisk, as they approach, the atmosphere thickens with an amalgam of dread and urgency. There, slumped against a moss-covered log, sits a boy no older than 7. Dirt streaks his tear-stained cheeks, his clothes tattered, a chilling mirror of abandonment that resonates deep within human souls. Who leaves a child alone in the sprawling woods? The hikers exchange nervous glances, the weight of impending decisions pressing down on their collective conscience. Narrator, asterisk, but this isn't just a story about a boy in distress. It's a reflection of our deepest fears. What happens when we encounter vulnerability in its rawest form? If this boy were yours, would you take the risk to rescue him, or would you turn back fearing the unknown? Each hiker wrestled with these questions, their hearts pounding not just from exertion but from the primal call of ethics and empathy. Narrator, asterisk, with resolve, Sarah, the bravest of the group, stepped forward. Her gentle voice cut through the boy's tears. "Hey there, buddy, it's okay." But as she approached, an even more profound realization dawned on her. A child's cries are often a chime of innocence amidst a world riddled with fear. The hiker's role transformed from casual adventurer to protector. But deep down, each knew that the boy was not just a child abandoned in the woods. He symbolized a universe of unspoken traumas. Narrator, asterisk, the boy's response was electric, a moment suspended in time when vulnerability met compassion. He looked up, his big eyes reflecting the spark of hope. As comfort washed over him, the realization struck the hikers. In rescuing him, they were perhaps rescuing parts of themselves, a haunting reminder of the fragility of trust in a cold world. But here's where the story takes a darker turn. Narrator, asterisk, as Sarah cradled the boy and reassured him, they felt an unsettling presence. The air shifted, heavy with a sense of being watched. It wasn't just an abandoned child they had discovered. It was a mystery entwined with fear and shadows. The truth behind his abandonment was about to unfurl, revealing a dark narrative that shook them all. Narrator, asterisk, what happened next? Well, that part of the story is what left them all breathless, questioning everything they believed about safety, trust, and the secrets hidden in the very shadows that surrounded them. Stay tuned. The shocking truth is just around the corner. Scene: a darkened forest road under the cover of twilight. Narrator bold and commanding. What if you stumbled upon a scene so fraught with anguish and mystery that it forced you to confront the very darkest corners of humanity? Picture this: a bear, instinctually drawn to the cries of a child. What it found left everyone in shock. This is the gripping tale of an abandoned boy discovered weeping on a roadside and the astonishing events that followed. Narrator, out in the wilderness, emotions run high, joy turns to fear, curiosity morphs into dread. This paradox is the backdrop for what happened next. A group of campers, reveling in the beauty of nature, were just minutes from their campfire when they were caught in the sinister grip of reality. Out of nowhere, they heard that gut-wrenching, primal wail, a child's cry that sliced through the tranquility like a jagged edge. Narrator, drawn by instinct, the group's leader, Jack, led the way. He was no stranger to risk, an adventurer with a penchant for the unknown. As they approached, their hearts pounded, each beat a testament to the harrowing mystery that lay ahead. What kind of person leaves a child alone in the woods? Questions spun in their minds, weaving a tapestry of dread and urgency. The weight of responsibility clung to them, heavy and palpable. Narrator, asterisk, there he was, a boy no older than 6, ragged and disheveled, his small figure appearing as fragile as the fading daylight around him. The campers stood frozen, their emotions in turmoil. The sight of the tears in his big, innocent eyes unleashed a flood of protective instincts. But a far graver question loomed. What trauma had led him to be abandoned here? Narrator, *, it was Jessica, a woman with a background in child psychology who finally broke the silence. "We can't just leave him," she said, her voice trembling yet resolute. Each camper grappled with their own fears, a psychological warfare. What if they brought something dark out of the woods with them? But their humanity won out, and they rushed to reassure the boy. He was no longer just a victim, he was a reflection of their collective conscience. Narrator, *, once they made contact, the boy slowly began to trust them, that flicker of hope igniting amidst despair. Jessica gently asked, her voice rich with understanding. But instead of an answer, the boy just shook his head, his cries descending into silent sobs. With every silence, the campers could feel the weight of unanswered questions settling heavily upon them. Narrator, *, yet, the deeper they delved into this enigma, the more they felt a looming presence. The trees, once comforting, felt like an audience to ominous secrets. And as night fell, a chilling realization hit them. The forest was alive with mysteries that refused to stay hidden. The boy was a mere harbinger of something larger, something darker. Narrator, *, what lay ahead transcended their initial fears. It was a journey into the unknown, a labyrinth of psychological horrors intertwined with an innocent child's fate. With the boy in tow, they took their first steps into a nightmare that would forever alter their perceptions of safety and trust. Behind every whisper of the wind lay truths that would shake their very beliefs about good and evil to their core. Scene, a dimly lit forest road at dusk, with the sound of rustling leaves and distant wildlife. Narrator, bold and commanding. What if a single moment of fleeting encounter in the woods revealed the darkest secrets of humanity? Imagine a bear, drawn by the echoes of an abandoned child's cries. What transpires next spirals into a tale that nobody saw coming. This is the harrowing story of a crying boy found alone beside the road, and the astonishing truth that emerged thereafter. Narrator, *, a group of friends embarked on what was meant to be a carefree adventure, laughter filling the air as they explored the wilderness. But laughter turned to confusion when the chilling sound of a child's cries pierced through the tranquil forest, an innocent tender wail that drew them in, as if pulling them toward a terrifying truth. Narrator, *, each friend felt an instinctual pull, a combination of curiosity and dread. Was it compassion that urged them forward, or an unnerving urge to confront something unsettling? On one hand, they were adventurous risk-takers by nature. On the other, their hearts thundered in protest as they moved deeper into the woods, the cries growing louder and more anguished. Narrator, *, there he sat, a small boy, no older than 6, ragged and alone, a picture of abandonment in the shadow of the towering trees. As they knelt beside him, a wave of psychological insight washed over the group. The boy wasn't just an innocent lost in the woods. He represented a deep, unsettling question about neglect, fear, and the nature of vulnerability in a harsh world. Narrator, *, hey there, we're here to help you, one of the friends, Mia, softly said, her tone soothing yet filled with urgency. But as they spoke, the boy's eyes darted around, reflecting a profound understanding of the danger lurking just beyond their immediate comfort. Who could have left him here? The whispers of the woods carried with them a heavy truth, one that unsettled even the bravest among them. Narrator, *, with every passing second, an understanding dawned on them. They were no longer just rescuing a child. They were encountering the embodiment of fear itself, the stark reality of a life neglected, and the implications of rescue amidst the unknown. But what haunted them were the unspoken possibilities. What had happened before this moment, and what darkness lay ahead. Narrator, *, as they sought answers, they engaged the boy, piecing together fragments of his story. The tremors of his voice and the shakiness of his small hands spoke volumes. He had endured something far beyond mere abandonment. Each revelation began to carve deeper lines in the hikers' minds, sowing seeds of dread during their attempts to console him. Narrator, *, and then, with the darkness deepening around them, a foreboding presence began to loom. A primal intuition warned them. This was just the beginning. The forest, once filled with whispers of adventure, was now a labyrinth hiding untold horrors. They faced a psychological labyrinth, where the screams of the boy echoed beyond mere cries for help, warning of deeper secrets interwoven in this desolate landscape. Narrator, asterisk in this harrowing moment, their quest morphed from a simple rescue operation to an expedition into the unknown. They understood that the question wasn't just about saving a boy lost in the woods. It was about confronting the shadows of human nature itself. And front and center, they now stood at the precipice of a revelation that would leave them reeling, one they would never forget.